Hey guys,
I'm Jerry.
I'm Sierra.
We're ladies.
And we tangent. So we're good. They can't hear this?
I'm 99% sure that you guys can't hear
How loud our
the toilet or the air conditioning. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I think it'll shut off at some point.
Eventually. And so apologies.
Yeah. Although it is kind of harder to hear you.
I know. That's what I'm
I feel
saying.
like I have to yell.
Hello over there.
Oh,
How are you?
I'm good. I'm great. I just got back from vacation.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. We went on sort of the same vacation.
I went on a vacation. Sierra came down for one day.
I did. So what happened was in a weird sort of, we're not going to go into the details because it was all like Jerry took a vacation to the same place that my family took a vacation that also ended up being my dad's wedding. So but the wedding happened after you booked the vacation. So it just ended up being that then I had to also go down, which was wonderful, but we were all in the same place at the same time. It was very cool how it all meshed up.
Transpired.
And you took pictures, which were beautiful. So amazing.
Thank you.
Job.
Thank
A+.
It was cool to see all of the family that was there witness me in photographer mode.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Because they know that I am / was a photographer and that I shot weddings, but I don't think that they've ever been present while I've actually put my photographer hat on.
Directed?
Yes.
Yeah. And you were good. You did good.
Thank you.
Because we were all like, what do we do with our hands? So, anything you see of us with our hands, Jerry directed us immediately to no, do this, stand this way.
It was much more comfortable for me to do it with all of you as well because I know you and I know your names, where sometimes I'm like,
hey, you in the pink.
Well, one time we had, the bride wanted both parents, she wanted the groom's parents and her parents in a photo. And I was like, aw, what a cute moment. Everyone hold hands and look at, your significant other. And they all just start laughing. And the one, I was like, oh, haha, is this, what's funny? And they're like, we're divorced. So the bride's parents weren't together.
Oh, no.
But I made them hold hands. They were like, we're friends. This is fine. And I'm like, okay, well, the sentiment's going to be weird, though. Doesn't look like generations of love into one, but that's fine.
It's okay. We're working on it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Can I tell you about I'm going to tell you just a short amount of my trip there because it was.
Because you had to fly.
I did have
We
to
drove.
Fly.
I was a little bit nervous driving with 2 toddlers.
Yeah.
But
Florida.
It was wonderful.
Really?
It was wonderful. Yes.
I'll never do it again. But my baby was 8 months and we drove straight through. So
I was going to say, I almost said I'll do it again tomorrow, just to show you how much I had no problem with it, but I truly wouldn't do it again tomorrow.
But I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I probably would eventually, but because the drive with us, great.
Yeah.
Corey drove the whole way. He was a great driver, and I have flight anxiety. However, it was very nice to be there in 2.5 hours.
Yes.
However, I've never had to deal with flight delays, and I've heard about them, especially a lot recently. So when we went to fly out, first of all, it's a small airport that we went to, a much smaller one than we've ever been to. And we get there super early because we have no kids because Sawyer stayed with my mother-in-law and Noah was with his dad. And I was like, we're only going to be there for a day. There's no point in traveling with the kids for one day. So we're like, let's go to we hadn't had lunch. Let's go to a little bar restaurant area to have lunch. And there's only one because it's a very small airport. So it's fine.
Where'd you fly out of?
Akron.
Okay.
So we do our thing. We're drinking out of there, whatever. I think I have 2 because it's just enough to get me ready to fly.
Yes.
We go back down. They're like, hey, plane is here. There's a maintenance issue.
Ah,
I know. For me, very scary thing to hear. Very scary thing to hear. There's a maintenance issue. We're going to try to figure it out. Just stay put. And I was like,
I'm not getting on that plane.
I'm not getting fucking this was like a final, in my mind, this was a final destination fucking thing.
Situation.
Where I looked at Corey and I was like, there's a fucking maintenance issue. I'll never fly again.
Yeah.
I didn't even know planes had maintenance issues.
You think planes need to be maintained?
No, fuck this.
Sounds fishy to me.
And Corey's like, relax. It's going to be fine. They're telling you it'll probably be an hour and a half. You're going to be good. And I was like, I don't know. I read one time there was a plane crash one time, and it was because there was one bolt that was loosened, and that's why the plane crashed. And again, he's like, Sierra, you're being TikTok Sierra, where you're like really obsessed about these things. You need to chill out because a lot of planes fly every day, and you're gonna be good. And I was like, okay, maybe we go to the bar one more time.
Another round for me and my anxiety.
So we did, and it was honestly great.
Yeah,
I go there. Then I did see a woman who was flying on our flight who had a small baby, and I was like, hey, Corey, I'm gonna help that woman with the baby.
Hey, lady, like, can I take care of your baby?
He was like, don't fucking do that. And I was like, why? And he was like,
I'm a good person.
I'm a good fucking person. He was like, imagine a woman comes up to you when you're with soybeans and she's like, I'll take your baby.
It smells like fucking alcohol.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, good boy. I won't try to offer. But I really wanted to help.
Yeah.
Anyways, then the flight, we all get on. It ends up being great. It takes off. I feel fine. I'm like, oh my God, is this? I think I'm getting used to being on a plane. It feels great. They're like, the cart comes through. I'm like, I'll have a high noon. At this point, it had been a while. Yeah. And I was starting to feel normal again. So I was like, can't have that. Because if I feel normal on this flight, I will want to try to get off. So I did get a high noon. Now, there's a woman sitting up one, but across from me. And she's doing a Sudoku, and she's got her headphones in. I have my headphones in. Sudoku.
Well, now you've said it so many times that I don't know what it is. Anyway, okay, I know the number boxes.
Yes. She's doing it on like a book.
Yes.
Of it.
Yes.
With a pen.
That's my preference as well.
I love it. So I'm looking at her and I'm like, I love that for you. I wish I had that as well. But I just had my headphones in and I was in my own world, just like living. Corey is asleep, mouth open against the window.
Oh, like you're traveling with me again.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck, okay, I guess I'm by myself. This girl then moves over because we're on a Breeze flight. I don't know if you know anything about Breeze, but it's a very small airline, and it also is,
I've never heard of that airline in my life. I know.
Well, a lot of people haven't because there was a lot of open seats. That's all I'm saying.
Seriously?
It was awesome. I loved it.
Oh.
Yeah. No, because you're side by side. There's not 3. There's only 2. So it was me and Corey. And there was a lot more room. It was really nice.
Wait a minute.
Tell me.
Imagine I put the ad there. I don't think it's been long enough. But explain to me the seats. There's only 2?
2. And then over here, 2.
Oh, I thought you were saying 2, and I thought you were saying facing each other, like like you were on a public transportation. You're facing one another on opposite sides, like you're strapped in, and everyone's about to jump out of the plane. They're like, "We're not actually going to land. You guys got to hop out. We'll tell you when."
No, but I was just on Frontier and there was 3. So this time, and in United and all the ones that we had, there was 3. This one, only 2. So it was nice. It was cozy. It was me and him. And we didn't have anyone in front of us.
Man.
And then we had one person behind us. It was nice. This girl that was doing the Sudoku was, right? Mm-hmm. She hops over because she's like, I want to look at a window seat. Okay. And I get it. She didn't say that, but I just could feel her vibe.
Okay.
She's got her headphones in. She's doing it. And I don't know if you're only listening, but if you're not, you should come to YouTube for a second because this is what she was doing. I mean, just vibing. And so, like, at this point, I'm looking at her and I was like, I'm going to buy her a drink. I think I'm going to try to sit next to her. She looks like fun. So 100%. I wanted to lead up and be like, I like your vibe, girl. But
Are you hitting on me?
Kinda. I know. The introvert in me was like, don't fucking do that, Sierra, you weird bitch. Don't be that girl. But she was having such a good time. So in my seat, I'm starting to go like this. I'm like dancing, but like not with her, but like I'm listening to my music too, girl. We're fucking dancing together. And so I don't know if she saw me, but I was dancing with her.
It's one of them silent discos. Have you ever seen those?
Where we were just like,
Have you seen the silent discos?
No.
These people all
But I
have
bet that's what we were doing.
They all have headphones, like over the ear headphones, and they all are just in a group. There's no music, but you see everyone just fucking.
That's what me and her were
breaking
doing.
It down.
Literally, we were just like like really having a good time. Anyways, it was a beautiful moment.
The pilot comes back and he's popping
like,
it.
No, but okay, I will say, because you said that about the pilot. I don't know what it was about me and Corey this trip, but we got approached more than I've ever been approached in my fucking life traveling with anyone. There was not a free moment between the two of us where someone wasn't trying to like talk to us.
Really?
And you and like I'm not
I don't look approachable.
Right. Well, we did apparently as a couple, me and Corey. We had every second we sat down, we had a couple that was like, first time, sucking fucking.
Sucking fucking. What did you just say? You just said first time sucking fucking. Who are you sitting next to? What the fuck?
No, exactly what you think.
All right.
That was it. And it was like, what's happening? I don't understand.
We ended up at a key party. I'm not sure. I've got a pineapple on my door now.
He had a fucking sports shirt on. And I was like, hey, you're never allowed to wear sports memorabilia again. Because people just like took it and ran with it. But there was a couple on our flight back home then that decided. By the way, again, we got to the airport because we were traveling from Orlando home. And Orlando, Disney, okay?
Yes.
So we knew it was going to be busy. So we went so fucking early. I'm talking 4 hours early to the airport to try to get in and be like comfortable.
You sent me one of my favorite texts you've probably ever sent.
You can read it if you want.
I'll find it.
So we get to the airport, we get in through TSA, and we finally feel comfortable. And we're like, let's go to Ruby Tuesday. And we eat lunch and then we start drinking because, again, we're anxious babes. And we've had so many travel issues that, like, whatever. So we're drinking there for a while. Go ahead with what we texted you.
Had some beers at Ruby Tuesdays and didn't realize Orlando has toddler toilets. Ran in because I had to shit. Now I'm pooping in a toilet that's like 6 inches off the ground. So, damn Disney airport.
I told Corey, hey, I'm just shit. We have to fucking leave this Ruby Tuesdays right now. And he was like, there's a bathroom right outside of us. I was like, great. All the stalls were full except for one. And I was like, what, you idiots not going in the stall? I'm going to run in there. There's liquid coming out of my ass. I do. And I drop to the ground. Like I'm less than a Subway sandwich fucking off the ground. My fucking legs are literally splayed out. And I'm like,
feet underneath.
What's happening? But my ass is erupting at this point. Right. So it's happening. And so I'm like, I think I'm on the kids' toilet.
Is the bowl the right size?
No.
It's smaller as well.
Small. It's all small. And you don't realize until you're
small world after all.
You don't realize until you're sitting on it that I was like, I think I'm on a child's toilet. And not just any child's. I think I'm on a toddler's toilet. And I'm thinking, I have to leave. And someone's going to look at me and be like, great, awesome, thanks. An adult person came out of here so I can go in here and then look and realize it's a toilet that's literally on the ground.
They're going to realize that person needed a toilet.
Yeah, and I did. Then one more.
Okay, so I'm so sorry. That, I also have a poop story, of course, but go ahead.
This is the last one. So then we're already toasty from Ruby Tuesdays. And we also had an extra IPA because we thought our plane was going to board, but then it ended up being delayed. Surprise, we had delayed flights fucking 2 times in a row. Real shitty. It sucked. Whatever. So we're like, let's go back to where the United flight is boarding because that's the rich people's. Breeze had nothing because they were like, these are the poor.
Poor people.
The poor people. So where United people were flying to New York, they had fucking bars, man.
Yes.
They had all kinds of bars.
Yes.
So we went that way, of course. And we're sitting there talking to all the New Yorkers. It was so funny. But we ended up drinking a couple and they had like straight up IPAs and stuff. Again, heavier beers than we're used to.
Yep.
We finally are like, great. So we walk back. We're sitting there. We're definitely like I'm not in the mood to talk to people. And these people sit in front of us and they start talking to Corey about a shirt because he's wearing a sports shirt. They start talking about sports and then they look at us and the guy says that he's a pastor and says, have you accepted Jesus into your heart? And I looked at Corey and I said, yes, we have. I'm sorry, everyone, but knowing that we haven't, because I'm like, hey, you know what I'm not about to fucking do in this airport right now is have a fucking talk about this right now. I'm not, hey, why would you ask that to me? Why would you say that to me? I'm a stranger to you right now.
Can I tell you two things? One.
It was so uncomfortable.
One. You did accept him into your heart at one point, and then you kicked him out.
And we said that.
You did?
I didn't say kicked him out. I said, yes, we actually went to fucking youth group together, which we did. I didn't say fucking. That feels wrong. I was like, we actually met in youth group, which is true.
Okay.
We did.
Okay.
But then we just went our separate ways.
They didn't need to know all of that information. But can I tell you that when you texted me about that, that is not what I thought you said.
Uh-oh, what did you think?
What I thought you were telling me,
oh no,
is that I thought, can I read it?
Go ahead.
Not me and Corey being hammered, getting stuck talking to an pastor and his wife before our flight. He said, you guys have accepted Jesus Christ into your hearts then. Yes, we have. Amen. Okay. I read that and thought Corey said it to him. I thought they introduced themselves and said, I'm a pastor, this is my wife, and that Corey's response was, so you've accepted Jesus Christ into your heart then. And then they responded, yes, we have. Amen.
They immediately asked us, and I was like, what? Why are we? What?
I thought Corey asked him, and I was like, wow. Hey, but I didn't even question it.
You're just like, that sounds right.
That sounds like Corey.
Hey, and anybody who's mad about that was a very uncomfortable situation for me to be put in. Okay?
Yes.
Why are you asking a stranger that? It was weird. Because I knew in that situation, if I didn't lie and say yes, that I was about to be our flight was delayed. I knew that we could be in potentially a 2-hour.
That's what you get for trying
to convert me.
That's what you get for trying to hang out in the rich people areas.
That was annoying. I shouldn't have done that.
Now, can I tell you that a similar thing happened to me?
All right, let's hear
Maybe
it.
I've told this. You guys say we recycle stories anyway, so you tell us. But whenever we went to Florida for Matt and Amber's wedding,
yes,
in 2015, Shane and I got stuck in fucking
is this
Atlanta.
Shit on my shit story?
No.
Okay.
I mean, that happened in Florida.
Okay.
But I think we got stuck in Atlanta during our layover, and we were stuck for like hours and hours. And this guy was sitting next to me, and he was trying to convert me to be a insurance person.
Yeah.
But during that conversation, he tried to tell me that it was a choice as to whether or not we had a boy or a girl.
What?
Like that I had control over that.
You were pregnant?
No.
Oh, you weren't even?
No, we weren't even married.
Oh my God.
No, not that you have to do it in that order. But what I'm saying is, like, I was just sitting there and we were talking about kids for some reason. And he was like, well, yeah, that's, the woman gets to decide that. And I'm like, that's not true at all.
Wrong.
Not at all. Not true at all. And so I was like debating science with this man and also being like, I'm not going to become an insurance adjuster. Please leave me alone.
Dude, it's so awkward.
Shane
Why?
walked away.
What?
Shane walked away and put his headphones in and sat and stared at me from across the room. And I was like, you motherfucker.
You motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
that was the good thing about, I told Corey, I was like, thank you for being who you are, which is, I mean, you did kind of enable it because he's a people pleaser and he'll he goes, I'll talk to anyone about anything. But also we're both just such nice people that we just kept getting in these conversations and halfway through we would look at each other like, what the fuck?
How did we get here?
We just do? Because then they were straight up like, I mean, it was they were super nice.
Yes,
like
yes,
I can't.
yes.
I'm not trying to say a bad word about them. It is just you have to understand that's an uncomfortable position to be put in.
Yes.
When you're when you have nowhere to go. Like, I couldn't flee the scene.
And you've already deconstructed. And so many times.
And I don't want to debate you. I'm not trying to fucking debate you in an airport. I just want to be like, yeah, sure. I sure have. Like, yeah. I'm not trying to have this
I'm going to pacify this pastor.
Why do we have to have this conversation here? You barely know me. You think I'm a nice person, so you want to make sure I'm your kind of nice person. That's what I felt. Was that I want to make sure we're cool to still keep having a nice conversation with you.
See, I bet that it was more because I truly believe.
I'm just telling you how I felt.
Yeah. I truly
that wasn't
believe
what he said, but
in situations like that I believe all of the people that were trying to either get me to go to the church or stay in the church truly believed that my life was in danger if I didn't. And so I think in that situation, it's almost like feeling called to save someone. Yeah.
Like, thank you,
so
but like not necessary.
I understand that it probably comes from what they think is a really good place, but not, you don't know everyone's story. You don't know everyone, like where everyone's coming from with that.
And you in an airport filled with 100 people who are also sitting here annoyed that we've been delayed for 2 hours.
Yes.
And they're all, by the way, they're all listening.
Right.
We're all it was in the seats, like next to where our flight was. So like, there's fucking 40, 50 people packed in next to us that are listening to this. And I'm like, it's embarrassed.
Just uncomfortable.
At this point, I feel embarrassed that we're trying to have this type of conversation.
Yep.
While a bunch of people are listening.
Yes. Because imagine he asked you something else.
Well, imagine I said no, and then we had to go into a whole him trying to, that's like, I don't want to explain myself in front of a bunch of people. That's something that's personal to me. And I don't want to have to tell you you're a stranger. I don't feel like I need to tell you about what happened to me.
Right.
In my trauma.
Right.
So like,
we'll do that here.
Yeah. You can listen. I had my Ladies and Tangents shirt on. I was like, you can have a listen. You're not going to like me afterwards, but that's okay. Anywho.
You will bless my heart. I know that. Anyway.
How was your trip?
Fine. I almost poopied my pants on the way home.
Oh, no.
I told Shane, we were like a mile or so from an exit, and it says, last rest stop for 18 miles.
Oh, no. That's the scariest sign that you'll ever see.
I said, hey, I'm going to have to poop. And he was like, all right. There's a rest stop in 18 miles. And I was like,
no.
Hey,
sir. No. Sir.
And we did make it.
Okay.
But as soon as we saw that sign, my butthole was like,
oh, it's time to evacuate now.
And it was the West Virginia Welcome Center.
No. Okay. That's the fucking one to go to, though. I love that one.
Well, unfortunately, Shane decided to go to a gas station instead of the Welcome Center.
Oh, no.
So here I am.
I've done this, and you're in fucking,
here I am at a light, okay? We're at a red light, and I'm looking at the Welcome Center right there.
Yep.
Right there it is. And I'm like, why don't I just hop out of this car and go shit right there? I'll hop that fence. I don't care.
Yeah.
But we turn left and we find this BP, and there's someone in front of us, and it was like, I love goats or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, I love goats. You need to get out of the fucking way. You know, they had some kind of sticker on the back of the car. We go in. He doesn't even park. He just slows down enough for me to get out of the car.
Run.
And I'm walking like Barbie, where like my legs are not moving too far past one another. I get in, and there's a line. Now, it's not a very big line, okay? I see there's one person in that stall. A woman and her daughter went into the other one, and an old lady just went into the one closest to me.
No.
So the woman in the stall with her daughter was like, okay, I'm going to pee, and then you can go poop after. And I was like, oh my God. So now I'm like, I'm not even counting on you. So I'm looking at the feet of the lady who's already been in here and the old lady's feet. And I'm going, which one of you's moving? Which one of your feet's moving? Who am I going to go to? Which way do I need to position my body? Because I'm going to have to run in so fucking fast. I'm not even going to have any time to make a nest. Toilet paper nest. You ever make one of those?
Yeah, but it's not happening right here.
No, we're not going to get to make one today. So
that's how I felt when I went to the children's toilet, and that's why I dropped to the fucking floor so fast. And I was like, "Oh my God, I didn't know it was going to be this close to the." I fucking rocketed to the ground.
You would have needed a very thick nest. So I look. The toilet flushes over here. And I'm like, all right, that's my toilet. But then the feet don't move. And I'm like, oh no, she just probably fucking just adjusted in the seat and it accidentally auto flushed. Can't count on that. And then I hear, okay, I'm all done. Now your turn to poop. And I was like, oh my God. Okay. And so the little girl's on there. She's like, are you pooping? And she's like, I don't have to poop. And she's like, I think you need to try. We're not going to be able to stop for another. And I'm like, if she doesn't have to poop, let her out of there. Because guess who has to poop? Me. So then,
hey, you know what, Mom? I have to poop.
So then the lady who's on my right.
I'm pooping right now.
The lady who's on my right, I see her feet moving. And then the door opens and she walks out. And I'm like, there was no flush. But I don't have time to worry about that. So I walk in and I was like, this bitch did not flush. So I flushed for her. And then I, in one sweeping movement, drop my pants, turn around, drop my ass to the seat and fucking release. And I might have moaned. Okay. I
sure. We've all been there. I get it.
This poop was orgasmic.
Yeah.
It felt incredible. My eyes, I think, rolled back in my head. I was like, wowzers. That feels nice. I missed my bidet horribly.
Oh, I know, right? Don't you?
I kept doing this thing where I thought that there was something just like dingleberrying. Yeah. And so what I do is I grab both of my cheeks and I shimmy a little bit, but nothing was happening.
Yeah.
But I would wipe and I stand up and I'm like, there's definitely still something in between my ass cheeks. And so I sat down again and I tried. And now I'm very aware that I'm doing the same thing that the other lady did.
Sure.
Where I'm just taking fucking forever in this stall.
Yeah.
And I realized that I had a hemorrhoid. I had a hemorrhoid. And so what I was feeling was not poop, but in fact, the inside of my anal cavity on the outside. I go out. I wash my hands. I turn around. First of all, the woman who was in the stall when I walked in there, still in there. I wish her well because there's no reason she should have been in there that fucking long. She was having a time. I walk out. There's literally 12 people waiting outside the door. Fucking imagine I didn't get there when I did.
Oh no.
I would have pooped my pants.
Yeah.
I surely would have.
Yeah.
I surely would have.
Oh my God.
Anyway, that was it.
Oh, okay. Well,
otherwise, it was a really great trip. We thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. We swam with a manatee?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Florida. Yeah. I did that when I was in St. Pete and it was crazy. It like came up to me and I was like, hello. And Corey's like, don't touch it. Like,
yeah,
you're not supposed to touch it.
You don't touch it.
Turns out that it's illegal. I didn't know. But
yes.
Because I was like, oh, buddy. And he was like, don't fucking.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
You don't touch him.
Okay. But it came up to me. I was like, I feel like surely it's consensual. It wants my friendship. And I'm trying to be fucking Snow White right now. And he's like, you can't. And I was like, well, it wants me.
Pretty sure that it knew Randy was pregnant. And was like just hanging out around her.
I had Sawyer when it came up to me and I was like, do you smell my baby? Do you want my baby? Are you a mother calf? Like, what's happening right now? Like, I don't know. But I feel like you and me, we have a fucking similar. Anyways.
Ollie went in the waves with my dad and he really had a great time in the ocean. Forrest did not.
Yeah. Was that his first time seeing the ocean?
Probably remembering it because he was 5 months the first time he went. But yeah, that was his first time. But he loved it.
That's good.
He loved it. And they loved swimming in the pool at the house. And my dad, it was really sweet seeing them with my dad playing because I almost recovered memories of my own childhood of my dad doing very similar things with me. Like watching him hold Ollie in the waves. I remembered him holding me.
Yes.
And in the pool, my dad held Ollie and he was like, we called him an astronaut. He was like, astronaut Ollie, ready for takeoff. And so he would say, check the fuel tanks. And Ollie would go, check. And he'd say, lock the door. Check. Kiss the mommy. Check. Feed the dog. Check. And so he would go through all of these things and Ollie would just yell, check. And then my dad would count down from 10 and then throw him. And they did that for
so long.
Hours. Yes.
I love it.
It was so much fun. I just remembered I didn't get high.
Okay.
I did take half a gummy.
Sure.
But
that's what sent you out to outer space, did it not?
It did. But this time it did not.
It's weird how that happens.
And so I was sitting in the hot tub, and then I got a little bit overheated. So I was sitting up on top.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but the running joke was coming up with names of people that sounded like other things.
Love that.
Like, for instance, Forrest kept, I made up a song for them where we go up, down, turn around, wiggle, macaroni. But when Forrest sings it, he says wiggle, Maggie Roney.
Yes.
So Maggie Roney, macaroni.
Yes.
My dad was talking about Barb Wire.
Sure.
And I said, I went to high school with Barb Wire. She was the valedictorian. And then I fell backwards into the pool, almost like a goodbye. Like,
oh my God.
Like it was a performance. And several times throughout the night, I would just say something and then disappear under the water. Or just like have a creative exit. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, but you were high?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you that you can do that and not have an absolute panic attack. Because apparently I can't without absolutely losing my fucking freaking mind.
Nope, not me. I'm a good time.
Well, that's how I am with alcohol. That's why I'm drink responsibly. That's me, baby. I can do it. I can stay hydrated. I can stop myself. I never have to be like, I got to keep drinking. I'll be like, no, I can stop myself at this point because I feel like I'm good. But smoking, no.
Well, I just eat.
Well, same. But anytime I've ever eaten, then it doesn't hit me fast enough. I think that's why I like alcohol, because I can get it quick enough. To me, if it doesn't, I'm ADHD, baby. I'm impatient. So like, if I don't feel it right away, I'm like, I'll just take another half of this. And then I'm like, hey, I think I'm fucked up.
I get existential and I'm like, hey, how about everyone who's in this hot tub right now? We say our absolute worst fears. And we share those with one another.
Yeah, except I do that inside my own mind, and then it's my worst fucking nightmare.
Let's say what we dislike about one another and try and figure out why.
That's what I do to myself internally. And then I hate my fucking self afterwards because I'm like, why would you do that?
I did that. I got everyone in the hot tub and I was like, this is honesty tub.
No.
This is the honesty tub. Let's talk about some stuff, okay? I think we're going to learn a lot about each other.
God.
No one's ever going to want to go on vacation with me ever again.
I'd do it. You and I had a great time on vacation. I loved it. I said that to Corey because I will say, this is how I told Corey. I was like, do we have some tips? Sure. You're going to when you're traveling, especially when you have,
you and me?
No, me and Corey.
Oh.
But we had multiple delays, and like there was a lot of. We were there for really only one day, but and so but for the most part, we were fucking phenomenal traveling together. That was the first time we've ever traveled together, not with the kids, and so I was like, this is going to be a test for you and I.
Oh yeah,
like if we could. It was the first time ever in our relationship. 6 years in. We're going to get married in 2 months.
Well, it's probably best you figured that out.
I know. It was a dream. It was honestly fucking amazing. However, I was like, me and Jerry did it better. I'll be honest. But it was just because
I've traveled a lot with my husband. And
we do it.
Yeah, we do it better.
we do
it better. Yeah.
It's just, we're good travel buddies.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. I told him during that, especially because I was finally getting over the flight stuff. I was like, I'm really excited if we do start touring to like really.
I can't wait to do this with Jerry.
I'm excited to do this. And he's like, yeah, it's going to be fun. And I was like, it will be. Not with you, but.
Can I tell you that in our car.
Really it was honestly amazing with him.
I'm sure. I just am better.
But like you are. And you are.
I'm a great time.
I mean, we're good with each other.
And it's just different when you're traveling with like a partner versus a friend.
Yes.
But in our car, because we drove down and we took everyone's luggage. So my dad, my sister, like all of the people who were in the house with me.
So they didn't have to check bags.
We took all the luggage.
Makes sense.
So we had all of their luggage in the back, and then my kids, and then Shane and I were up front. I had my headphones in, and I was either watching Love Island or I was listening to music. Shane was listening to his music. My kids were watching a movie.
Sure.
It was like none of us were engaging at all with each other. The only time I really like addressed my kids is when they were like, Mom, the movie's over. We need a new one. And I'm like, okay, turn around. Yep.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, Forrest would chuck a binky at us, but
sure.
Yeah.
Screen time doesn't matter when you're on vacation. We're trying to get there, okay? Yes. And we're just trying to make you happy.
Stupidly during the day.
Yeah, you gotta do it at night.
Well, here's the thing. We did travel at night when we traveled with Ollie for the first time, and Shane got so fucking tired.
It's so hard when you're the
5 in the morning.
I know.
And so we had to pull over and stop. And so he's like, I would rather drive as far as we can.
Totally.
Stop at nighttime when it's normal to sleep and then finish it the next day. And so it really wasn't bad, but my kids didn't sleep like at all.
Yeah. They didn't sleep in the hotel?
They did in the hotel.
Oh, good. Yes, okay. Yes. But not during the ride. So
and in our room at the house, we had like the primary bedroom.
Yeah.
But it also had a pull out. So like my kids were on the pull out and we were in the main bed. But when they went to sleep, Forrest went to sleep in the bed and Ollie went to sleep in the pull out, and then Shane would just move Forrest over. But both of them had their sound machines all the way up. Yeah. So Forrest listens to ocean waves and Ollie listens to rain. So it was raining at the ocean in our room
the whole time.
Yes, the whole time.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
That's actually my favorite sound. And actually,
rain at the ocean.
Our first day that we were there, our only day, we went to the beach for a little bit, and then it started. Everyone was like, "Oh no, it's thunderstorming on your only day." Blah blah blah. We went to the pool that was right next to the beach in the hotel that we were at, and went underneath the little cabana area and these 2 little lounge chairs. I got a Miami Vice, which is a strawberry daiquiri pina colada mix.
Oh,
delicious! It's so good. It's like strawberry coconut. Very refreshing. And then everyone is fucking scattering. They're running upstairs because it starts raining and it's thunderstorming and there's lightning. So they close the beach. And me and Corey are just sitting there, and I was like, no, this is my fucking vibe. I love it. I was watching this huge
This is my Super Bowl.
I loved it. I was like, this is what I'm here for. If it would have been perfect weather, I would have been furious. But it was a little bit of rain, a little bit of thunder.
Well, then you don't feel so bad for like not doing anything.
Yeah, and I like that. Yeah. I like to feel like happy that I'm a bum.
Hell yeah.
Content.
I will say, I keep getting a shooting pain in my like neck. Oh. And it's probably from being in the car because on the way back, I had Sierra's sister in the car with us. And for the first half of it, I rode in the back with my kids. And so like I was in between 2 car seats. She did it on the next day. Yeah. So, but like, yeah, my shoulders were really tight. So part of me feels like I fucked up my shit, but that's all right.
Shit.
Anyway.
All right. So
do
you know what we're doing?
No.
She doesn't know.
I forgot.
Surprise. We're doing stories. I'm through.
We're sharing stories.
Yay, stories. I feel like we haven't done a good story time in a while. Listener stories.
Yeah.
So
every time we say story, I think of story bots. Living in the computer parts. Any other parents watch story bots? Let me know.
Story bots. But we have
Snoop Dogg was on it.
Fuck yeah. He just had a concert in Cincinnati, and I'm furious that I couldn't go to it, but it's neither here nor there. Okay. Anyways.
Do you know how many concerts of like Alanis Morissette is headlining a festival? Your wedding night.
I know. You think I don't know? I want to cancel that shit. I'm furious.
My sister Sam sent it to me, and I was like, do you think I can get Sierra to move her wedding to the concert?
I fucking wish. And you ought to know, Corey.
I know. Anyways,
so if you have stories and you want to send them, we accept all stories to landtstories@gmail.com. So it's landtstories@gmail.com. It's in my bio. I think it's in our.
I don't know if it's there,
but it's in my Instagram bio. If you need it. That's what we're going off. I just have a plethora because I couldn't find it. Like I just wanted specific, kind of all of them. Yeah. And so I'm going to give you all a warning for there's going to be poop-related ones,
Mhm.
okay, which you've already kind of heard, so like, sorry about it. There's going to be hoe stories, so if you're like someone who doesn't want to hear about sexual promiscuity, I totally understand. I'll let you know before we tell it, but that's what's going to happen. And then we kind of have some ghosty ones. We have some dreamy ones. I kind of got just like a Super Bowl of them.
That just reminded me
What?
that I had a dream where I was almost aware that I was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was almost like I lived the moment in the dream twice, and I could recall how it played out differently the first time.
Oh, this dream one that I have for you is fucked up.
It was such a weird feeling because I was like, I've lived this before, but I remember it differently, and it's happening again. And I just spent so much time trying to prove that I had already lived it. And I was like searching in my camera roll for like documentation of shit. Like, I don't know.
I feel like we should just start with that one then.
Okay.
Because you're really telling me a lot. That's okay.
Here
we go. You ready? Hey, ladies, I have a lot of stories of all kinds to tell, so I might spam. Deal with it. Smiley face. I like it when you tell me what to do. It makes me feel good. I want to say it's Faby, Faby.
Okay.
She, her, and this happened around January to February of this year. A lot of context. Okay, so this is all a beginning context story. Since I was 16 to 17, so this is 2018 time, I've been having dreams where I have a family, and not like I had a dream that I was pregnant. I mean, for 9 months straight, at least 4 days a week, I would dream that I was pregnant and my belly would get bigger while time passed. And I decided to keep track of time. And you can imagine my shock when 9 months passed in my dreams. I went to the hospital, got admitted, and whatever process happens, I had a child in the dream. A fucking child on month 9, meaning I was full term. And when I tell you it felt real, it felt real. I felt the pen on my hand while filling up paperwork. And then there's parentheses that says, I don't know if you actually do that, but in my dreams you do, which you do. So that's crazy. Laying on the hospital bed, I felt IVs, and as the cherry on top, I was in a lot of pain from contractions. I even saw the monitor, and I was in fucking pain from pushing a full-on child from my puss. I even felt weight on my chest after the doctor put her, yes, it was a girl, on my chest right after I was pushing. I looked to my left since I felt someone caress my hair, and there was a man, the same man that's been in my dreams since day 1. Yep, my fiance in the dreams. Not in real life. I couldn't stop smiling and crying from how happy I was to have my daughter on my chest and the man of my dreams, quite literally. I saw the doctors leaving the room after birth, and as soon as they closed the door, I woke up. I was in so much pain that day that I had to take pain meds after having that dream.
Yes.
Remember, this has been happening for years. I've seen her grow up, taking her first steps, her first birthday party, all firsts you can imagine. Last year in a dream, I found out I was pregnant again, and everything happened again. And early this year, I had twin boys via C-section. I literally cannot get more detailed and specific. I thought this was I dreamt that I was pregnant, but no. While sitting at the hospital bed, I heard the door open and I looked up and met the eyes of my daughter, the old one. She looked like a toddler. I know you can't create faces you haven't seen before, but I remember her having hazel eyes. And she runs up to the bed, gets on it with the biggest smile on her face, and asked me as good as she could, "Can I hold them, Ma?" I started crying because I've been having dreams about this since I was 16 and I'm now 20 at the moment.
Holy shit.
I know. At this point, I have the enjoy it while it lasts mentality during the I know. Since I do want to be a mom and I had everything I wanted in my dreams, while in reality, I'm just a girl on Lexapro. Sorry. Every time I go to bed in my dreams, I wake up in real life.
Weird. Part of me wonders if you feel exhausted, because there are times where I wake up where I feel like I feel like I'm not waking up. I feel like I just ended whatever I was doing in the other reality of my dream?
Yes. Okay, end of the long-ass context. So this was all the context before. Changing the subject to the title of the story, which I haven't told you before, but it is. Baby daddy knows he isn't real / sleep paralysis. You ready?
What?
I know.
Oh my God. I'm freaked out.
No. About 2 to 3 months after having the twins.
Yes.
For about 3 weeks, I was having a hard time falling asleep. And I thought it was sleep paralysis, so I would try to calm myself down by breathing and mentally telling myself, I'm okay, it's going to be over in no time, just relax. And it would go away. Me thinking I was good to fall asleep, half awake, half asleep, I would feel arms around me, like hugging me, and a male voice telling me that he knew I was freaking out. In parentheses, it says, like, bitch, I'm obviously shitting my pants. I'm over here trying to sleep and there's a random dude fucking hugging me. The fuck? And to calm down. And he jokingly told me, what, you don't recognize me anymore? This is during like a sleep paralysis episode. Okay. I was obviously shocked. Like, I'm trying to sleep, motherfucker, and you're a random dude whispering in my ear. I was trying my hardest to move or fully wake up, and I stopped when he spoke again, and he said, let's go home. They're asking for you. Excuse me? Who's they, and why are they asking for me, dude? You go, bitch. I was trying to connect the dots in my head, and I couldn't speak or move. This motherfucker goes, baby, you know you don't talk out loud here. You're able to talk in your dreams. You think and I hear. Okay, motherfucker. I love how aggressive they are. So I asked who he was, and he had the audacity to laugh and go, okay, seriously, let's go. They're waiting for you. I was so scared at this point, and I guess he realized I was being dead serious, and he goes, you really don't remember me? What about the kids?
Oh my God.
I know! Fucking shit. This motherfucker was my fiance and the father of my kids. Holy shit. This is in all caps, by the way. I
have goosebumps.
I know. I proceeded to explain to him that I was in my room and that unfortunately they weren't real. They were just a dream. I started to feel a tighter grip and hear sniffs and sobs. He was now experiencing what I feel when I wake up from those dreams with them, which is heartbreak. He suddenly says, well, do you want to wake up? This bitch was testing me. Sorry.
I have tears in my eyes.
I know.
I'm sad.
This bitch was testing me, and mentally I said no. I fell asleep, and suddenly we were walking out of a room, and they were there, the ones asking for me.
Oh.
I saw a little girl running up to me, picked her up, and I didn't really have control of where I was going, but I kept walking and ended up in the boys' nursery. I can't fully remember what happened next, but I remember going to bed and him telling me that he didn't care that he or the kids didn't exist, as long as I was happy too. I've rarely dreamt about them in a while, which is kind of upsetting since I've developed an emotional attachment. I literally cannot talk about it out loud or I might cry. It's that bad. But anyways, that's the story about how my non-existent baby daddy knows he is in fact not real. Love you ladies so much. Sending love across the border. Trump said we would build, but joke's on him because there's already one. I know. Isn't that fucking
fascinating?
crazy?
And also, okay, I know it's not like the same, but in my dream last night, I was with a guy who was my boyfriend, I guess. And he was like I was on a bus. It was winter and we were going to a Broadway show, but it was like off Broadway. It was just like a musical. And I'm staring and I'm looking out the window and I'm like, I've already done this before. I've already gone here before. I don't know why I'm back on the bus. Like I was already at the show. And then I look over and he looks at me and he goes, it's time to meet my mom. And I'm like, you're who?
Yeah. What?
Like, I don't even know who you are. So I get off the bus with him and it's snowing and it's cold and he walks me up to his mom and I am visibly like, what the fuck is happening? And he's like, it's okay. She's like expecting it. You're going to do fine.
What?
And I give her a hug and she's like, it's so nice to meet you. And I'm like, it's so nice to meet you too. All of a sudden I know who he is. And I'm like, he's told me so much about you guys. I've been so excited to meet you and your other son. And like his little brother was there. What? And then we walked in and I was waiting in line and I thought I had a ticket, but I didn't. And someone had to like give it back to me. And I'm like, I've done this before. And I had a tattoo and it was here and I took a picture, but then I got cut and I had to go. And like, it was such a bizarre thing.
Yes.
So I understand, like, I mean.
No, it's so weird. When I read that, I was almost like, that almost sounds made up, but because dreams are so crazy and like, it's almost, I can totally see that being a reality where it's something like that happens over a period of time. And I've had some fucking crazy sleep paralysis moments because it's all in your subconscious. So like really, it makes sense that it would happen like that.
But is
like,
it?
I know. I don't know.
Stuff like that. I'm like, is it in my subconscious or did I like end up in another timeline?
I know.
That's so weird.
I was going to make this one just a full on one or the other, but I read that and I'm like, oh, I have to make this like something with all of them because that was wild.
Yes.
And I have to include it because it was so.
Well, it reminds me of like the book idea that I had all those years ago that was like, she was trying to find the person who she had seen in her dreams. And also I wanted to bring up, they say that you can't create a face that you've never seen.
Yeah.
However, I did hear that you can combine features.
Yes.
So like you can make up a new face based on features that you've seen, but it may not be like someone's exact eyes, nose, mouth. Yeah. So it could be like my mouth, Sierra's nose, your own eyes. You know what I mean? Totally. So like it's not a real face, but anyway.
All right, what do you want next? Do you want a pee pants story? Do you want a hoe story? Or do you want a
whiskey drink?
Ghost story? Or a poop story?
I kind of want a ghost story. I don't know why I'm feeling in a goose pimp mood.
Yeah, okay. I got another ghost story for you. Okay. I got so many, so that's why I'm letting you choose. Okay, here we go. Hey, girlies. My name is Imani. She, her.
That's a beautiful name.
I love it. As soon as I read it, I was like, fucking amazing name. I wrote a scandal a while back about how my boyfriend accidentally killed the Queen of England. Do you remember? I think we told that story. It was on the phone.
What?
They said it, maybe. Maybe not.
What?
I feel like we did, but I can't remember if we told it or not. If not, I might have just read it. Here we go.
I don't know what you're talking about, so maybe you just read it and now you need to find it.
I think it was a dream one. I think we read it on the podcast. Or maybe I told somebody about how my boyfriend said he killed the Queen. Anyways. If you thought that was a hoot, well, then this one is a doozy. So 2 days ago, this is recent. Oh, because this was July 3rd. So this will be the beginning of July. Around 6 p.m., I got a call from my Meemaw. Meemaw, Imani, these are amazing. Me, what are you talking about? Meemaw, your videos from the link you sent me. Me, what link? Meemaw, you just texted me a link. I clicked on it and it has all your videos on it. At first, I was mortified because what videos? With a bunch of the eye emojis. I realized through context that she was talking about the videos on my YouTube channel that I use as my portfolio since I'm a video editor.
Got it.
But then I realized that I don't remember texting my grandma. Since I recently applied for an editing job, it would make sense that I would have that link on my clipboard. And sometimes I sleep with my phone in my hand, so it's possible I accidentally messaged her. Me, when did I text you? Meemaw, about 5:30 p.m. I've been watching all of them since. So I checked my messages to my Meemaw. The last text I sent was over 2 weeks ago. I checked my deleted messages. Nothing. I checked my emails. Nothing. Me, are you sure it was today? Meemaw, yeah, let me check. Imani, I can't find the text. Me, you can't find it? Meemaw, yeah, it just disappeared. I don't see it anymore. After they've already watched the videos. I'm not the most tech savvy person, but I'm pretty sure messages don't just disappear unless you actively delete them. At least that's for Android. We caught up for a little bit and then I called my mom. She's my biggest fan, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe she sent a link to my grandmother. Me, hey, did you send Meemaw a link to my videos? Mom, no, I haven't sent anything to Meemaw. Why? What happened? I explained everything and my mom definitely agreed that was some spooky ooky shit. I ended up just shrugging it off and going on with my day. Maybe I was hacked? But then why would a hacker send my wholesome videos to my grandma? And no, I don't think it was a prank since my Mima ain't a prankster. Cut to yesterday. I was just chilling in my bed on my phone when I heard a weird humming sound. My apartment complex has been doing construction all year, so hearing that noise wouldn't be unusual. But there definitely wouldn't be any construction workers working at 11:30 p.m. on a Sunday. Ooh, it's almost midnight on a Sunday.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's just creepy. Nobody's working then.
Oh. That's just a spooky time.
It's so scary. Everybody should be in bed. I get up to pee and
Not
the
on
humming.
the Lord's Day.
Not on the Lord's Day. I get up to pee and the humming sound is getting louder. The walls of my complex are thin. Maybe my neighbors were working on something. I open the door and realize that the sound is coming from my bathroom. Maybe there's something wrong with the pipes. I check the toilet. Nothing. I check the shower. Nothing there either. The sound is coming from the cabinet above my sink. I open the door and it's my electric toothbrush vibrating. I have one of those older electric toothbrushes that you really have to press down on the button to turn it on. So how did it turn on? The cabinet was closed, the bathroom door was closed, and I hadn't brushed my teeth since that morning, so I would have noticed it if it was going off all day. Now it's the next day, and I still don't know how either of those things happened. I'm a pretty logical person, but even I don't know how the toothbrush thing happened. As I'm writing this, it's July 3rd, so we'll see if anything spoopy happens today. You know how things love to happen in threes. Anywho's, that's it. That's all we get. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, now it's the end of July and I want to know.
I love y'all on this podcast to the moon and back, and I hope this was able to give y'all a couple of goosebumps.
Yes.
I have plenty of spirits in my theater-related ghost stories, like how a ghost sliced up my hand and how a ghost almost killed 2 of my actors. But I'll wait and share those another time if you'd like.
What the heck?
Lots of love from Philly.
I'll tell you, I've had a
Imani.
lot of electronics.
Electronics freak me out, I think, the most because I'm just like, how do you push that button that hard? I know that's difficult to do, and you have to have a lot of energy to.
I don't know if they have to push the button. They just gotta
manipulate the energy,
the wires on the inside, whatever the button triggers. You know what I mean?
Sorry, that freaked me out. I don't like it. Can I tell you a host story instead?
Yeah. Are you
too scared? Yeah, I'm scared right now. I feel like I'm scared. It's dark right now outside.
I know. But that did remind me I need to brush my teeth.
I know we do. Fuck. You're going to like this one.
Okay.
This one's a host story.
Is it going to give me goosebumps?
It might give you.
Okay.
This one is called By Awakening Turn 3.
Whoa.
If you don't like host stories, skip this one. Hey, ladies. Listening to your horror stories episode inspired me to finally share my one and only host story. My name is Allie. I'm 28, female. Use she, her pronouns. This was the beginning of my sophomore year of college. I was 19 years old and finally coming out of my shell. I began to party a bit, mostly with my female roommate, who I had hooked up with a bit the year prior when we lived in the dorms. So they were roommates. Before this, I hadn't known that I was attracted to women and was warming up to the idea of being bi after many a heavy makeout session. Makes sense. This year, we had moved into an off-campus apartment just for students with 3 other roommates and suddenly lived in the same complex as almost all of our friends. Towards the beginning of the school year, we were partying with a group of friends, and I noticed a dude I had been eyeing in the dining hall the year before that I would occasionally see around, first only identified by his tattoos. Okay. You ever get one of those?
Tattoo.
Remember when we went on vacation and they called me that? And I was like, hell yeah, I'm tattoos. And then I was like, I'm also pregnant, so please stop hitting on me, you fucking weirdos. I was there with my roommate, who I had just lost my virginity 2 days prior. Whoop whoop. I know. And began to flirt with him a bit, the guy. Though I noticed he seemed to be into my roommate.
And you're like, me too, my guy.
Oh, we have something in common. When I told her this, she basically said, leave it to me, and proposed a threesome between all of us. He obviously took us up on the offer. When we left the party, one of his roommates tagged along. Thankfully, he was just walking home at the same time as we were and parted ways with us in the elevator.
So didn't turn into a weird 4-way.
Yes. We got back to our apartment with him, gathered supplies, wink, wink.
Supplies?
Supplies!
Condoms?
Or like lubrication of the sorts.
Both.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so inappropriate.
Do it.
We stopped at so many gas stations on the way home.
Uh-huh.
And we were just in full vacay mode. And my kids were like, what's this? And I was like, that's a push pop. You should get one because they're the best. Yeah. They also wanted like ring pops or like some other sucker. And I was like, get the push pop because it has a lid. And that way, if you don't want to finish it, we can close it up.
Put it on there. Yeah.
Perfect. And I didn't want them to have a baby bottle pop, even though that has a lid because it's
so messy.
So messy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I haven't had a push pop in a really long time. Mm-hmm. I would like one of those. I was doing filthy things to that push pop. And I looked at Shane and I was like, you could not keep me off your dick if it tasted like this push pop. Oh my God.
I would just be like, I
could not taste it enough. Like, I know this sounds foul, but I was trying to get it into my throat. I was like, I want this taste, this flavor all over the inside of me.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
If that's not a review for push pops, I don't know what is. 5 stars.
I was gonna say push pops. If you're not fucking doing an ad on this bitch, you should.
That was for free.
We'll do a great ad.
I will.
And
I practiced the whole way home. I was like, I haven't had a push pop in a decade, and I had 3 in 2 days.
It's delicious.
Yeah. It's also why I need to brush my teeth.
Filmy. Dude, it does leave a film. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Thick. All right. We talked briefly about consent. That's important. And then we jumped right to it. We were all drunk and it was certainly a bit awkward at times, but we fumbled through, mostly laughing along. We wrapped up at some point and then the dude left. We found out later that he left our apartment to go hook up with another girl. Because apparently a threesome wasn't enough. What the fuck? Ew.
Dang. He refills his supply fast.
I fucking guess. Jesus Christ.
That's a lot.
Yucky. What are you drinking, my guy?
I know.
So much coconut water or something.
That's a lot of pineapple juice. Probably.
He actually became one of our very best friends, and he ended up telling us that he felt like the third wheel in that situation.
Well, maybe because you were.
Yeah, since the two of us, myself and my roommate, were so obviously into each other.
Aww.
I guess he was right because she and I have since been dating and have been together for 8.5 years.
Whoa, that's amazing.
Congratulations. I know. He's still a good friend of ours, and we can all make jokes and laugh about it, but still had to turn him down a few more times over the years for the sake of maintaining our friendship. This is one of my only, quote, wild night stories I have, so I hope you get a kick out of it. Love listening to the podcast so much. Thanks for always being a bright spot in my week. XOXO, Allie.
Oh, how fun.
That was like a heartwarming / hoe story that I really loved. This.
Hoe-warming.
I love a hoe-warming story. My goodness. Do you want more?
I think we can do one
I have them. Because I have so many. What do you want? Piss story, poop story, another hoe story.
Give me. I feel like we told 2 poop stories.
So we need a piss
story.
story.
So let's do a piss story and a hoe story.
You got it.
And then we say, see you later, suckers.
Sayonara.
Sally.
Hi, ladies. My name is Dawn. They, she. You can use my name. Well, I already did. So there you go.
What luck.
Piss pants story incoming. I just left your Buffalo show. By the way, I'm wearing my improv. Did you notice that?
I did.
I love my Pittsburgh improv. This is like
it is one of the most comfortable t-shirts.
Dude, we kind of bullied them into giving us this merch. I'm not gonna lie, but they were like, oh, we were going to give it to you anyways. We said we would buy it. And they were
I
like,
was
yeah,
like,
we'll
we did
give
not
it to
bully them into
But
it.
we were
I
like,
said,
I'll buy that.
I said, what do I have to do to get me one of them shirts? Because I want one of
I'll
those.
suck someone's dick? I feel like I might have as a joke. Whose dick do I gotta suck to get an improv shirt? Turns out no one's. They gave it to us for free.
Yeah.
They were great.
They were like, thank you so much for being here. Here's a shirt.
But honestly, I put it on today because I was in a yucky kind of
It is
mood.
It's like a comfort shirt.
So comfy.
Mm-hmm.
So they went to the Buffalo show, and I didn't know that you were taking submissions from attendees. So I'm sending this to you now. Oops. Okay, so we all have had the experience of not at all needing to pee until you see your house and then immediately feeling like you're about to piss yourself,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. So I'm in my school district. You're apparently only kidnappable until you reach middle school. So after that, the bus drops you off like a group stop.
Yep.
So, okay, yes. One day, I get dropped off at the end of my street and I'm walking home. As soon as I turn the corner to see my house, I urgently need to pee. I only make it to my front door before I just start peeing. Oh, in middle school. I unlock the door, rush to the bathroom, and I think, fuck it, I've already just fully peed myself. So instead of, being normal and getting on the toilet, I just stand in the bathtub fully closed and finish peeing.
The amount of times I've thought about that, just being like,
fuck it.
it's going to happen.
I'm just doing it.
Just submit.
Yeah. I then took off said pee-soaked jeans, rinsed them off, and left them in the tub for my dad to deal with when he got home from work. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It says this story isn't as interesting as some of the others y'all have read, but I still hope that I will see this on the podcast someday. I just think that's really funny to do to your parents. As a parent myself, I just think that's really funny to be like, hey, I fully pissed myself and I'm just going to leave these in your fucking sink for you.
We were at the beach and my kids had to pee and I was like, oh my God, here it is. The moment I've been waiting for.
This is my mommy moment.
I'm going to teach you
to piss in the ocean.
Let's go pee in the
like
ocean.
God intended.
They refused.
Dude, why do they do that?
Refused to pee in the ocean.
No one did that too. And I was like, hey, you piss everywhere else.
I get it. You have to be in the right headspace.
Yeah.
But please.
Release it.
They both refused. And so one time Ollie walked all the way to the... I didn't know this, but I turned around. He had walked all the way to where the bushes meet the sand and just pulled his pants down and peed. Turns around and he just walks himself back. And I was like, well, good on you, I guess. Forrest, I had to I ripped a pull-up apart and then just held it on him. And then he told me when he was done. Yeah. Yeah. Because they refused to pee in the ocean.
Yeah. Dude,
so,
my mom said the same thing about me and Taylor. She was like, what the fuck? When we were younger, she was trying so hard and then we would demand to be taken back to the hotel, which was like a 2-street away walk.
Yes.
And she was like, girls, piss in the fucking ocean.
We have no choice. There was one. Okay. The first day that we went to the beach, we went to a beach that was like the closest one to us.
Yeah.
And, the people who were showing us around, they had never been to that beach before. And then they learned I will never be going back to this beach ever again because there was lots of rocks.
Yes.
And when I heard rocks, and I think you thought this too,
same.
I thought pebbles.
Yeah.
I thought it's just going to be uncomfortable to walk on.
These were fucking concrete slabs.
Bitch. In the ocean. If you go to my Instagram.
So scary.
And you scroll to the very last slide of one of my beach photos.
Might be my favorite
carousels
ever. Of you.
I pretend to be the Little Mermaid on one of these slabs.
Dude,
okay,
I mean, they were fucking. It was like you were on cement in the ocean,
and you couldn't see them until the tide started going out, and so you would be walking,
also ripping you out, so you're smacking your fucking shins into them. Oh my God!
But I had to pee, and so I was like, I have to go out.
You have to.
And that was the first day. And so my sons wanted to be near me. And I was like, mommy has to pee. But I'm also trying to figure out how far do I go out where I'm not going to fucking kill my shins, but I'm going to be able to squat. But also my kids are coming out at me and the waves are crashing on them.
They were rough.
And I'm watching them get pummeled while I'm just trying to piss.
I sat and I just let it stream down my leg. I mean, I was in the ocean, but like ankle deep. So I was just like, I don't care if you can see this.
You see me squatting.
That's happening.
I'm
right
pissing.
now. I can't get further because it literally fucked my toe. I still have a bruise on my fucking foot from that concrete slab that I
got
slammed
cuts
into
on my toes.
It hurt. Okay. Let's just. The end of this says this story isn't as interesting as some of the others y'all have read, but I read that. Anywho. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. I became disabled literally overnight at 16, peak COVID in 2020. And watching the podcast has got me through so many days of being physically unable to leave my bed. Love you guys.
Oh,
thank you so much. Great piss story. Honestly,
top tier piss story.
Everything that you, even if you're like, this might not be enough, it is. And we enjoy it because we've all been there. So this is another host story, and it's called Jungle Juice, Kissing, and Chips.
Oh my God. Ready? Shit and chips is my way out of a hangover. And right after I took that big orgasmic poopy in the West Virginia BP.
You had some chippies?
Oh, I got some salt and vinegar chips. And I was like, the lich.
Gonna fix this.
I am a new lady. This gonna fix my hemorrhoid right up.
It does. For a little bit. Here we go. Hey, ladies, you can call me Bella. It is my drunk name given to me by other drunk frat dudes. We love an alter ego. Not using my real name only because I feel like the guy that this story is about would be the kind of person to listen to this podcast.
Love that.
Chances are that this hasn't happened to anyone else, and he would know that it's our story anyways. Laugh out loud. Oh well. Also, sorry it's a little long. It's fine. This story isn't anything too crazy, but it never ceases to make my friends and anyone else I tell laugh their asses off. So this happened a few months into my freshman year of college. So as a bit of a background story, I had just finished by the way, when they gave this background story, they say, I've just finished a theater production, and this happened at the after show party. And then as soon as they said that, I was like, aha, theater kid. They would listen to us. So that actually makes total sense.
And as soon as you said
full circle moment.
Theater, my brain went theater. Good.
I'm glad.
So there's that.
There were multiple small shows that happened, so there were people that I had seen in the other shows but hadn't interacted with. I was also going through a party girl hoe phase because I was a goody-goody in high school, and I finally felt like I could let loose away from my family. So my friends were in the kitchen of the house party making a big-ass container of jungle juice. And if you don't know what it is, it's just a shit ton of different alcohol, juice, and fruit in one big blackout cauldron. It is fucking
gnarly.
Yeah, but so good. But scary because it doesn't taste. You don't think that there's alcohol in it. And then you drink like 2 of them and you're like, I'm fucking puking everywhere. How did this happen? And it's because there's so much vodka.
Yeah.
Or rum, something. Anyways, it was my first time trying something like this. And I definitely did not pace myself or take into account that it tasted like juice, but was so strong. Needless to say, I was fucking toasted. At some point, a guy that I had seen around and thought was cute walked by. I called him over and we started talking. I was sitting on the kitchen counter, very drunk, with my legs dangling off the edge. By the way, that was my favorite way when I was drunk at a party to sit. It's like on the kitchen counter. My friend one time, because me and my other friend were up there just like dangling so cute, went to also get up there. And she jumped up and just fucking smacked her head off the cabinets harder than I've ever. I was like, everyone at the party went, ooh. Like,
I thought she gave herself a concussion.
We did too. We were like, bitch, oh my God. She was like, I'm fine.
That's always the response, isn't it?
It was one of the fucking funniest moments because then I had to fall off the counter because I was laughing so hard after that. After I knew she was okay, I couldn't stop fucking laughing. Okay. Anyways. He was standing in front of me. So legs apart. Okay.
That's how I told Shane I was bi.
Oh.
I was up on the counter dangling with my little feet in my own home. Sober.
At some point, I leaned in and kissed him. And he must have been into it because we started making out.
Oh.
I'm unsure how long before we heathens came up for air. But I must have been hungry because I stopped and reached for a bag of chips on the counter next to me. I start munching on the chips and I ask him if he wants some. He laughed and declined the offer, so I shrugged and go back to kissing him. Let me clarify that I was fully Frenching this guy with chips still in my mouth.
I was just about to ask. Did you swallow first?
No.
Got it.
And he didn't stop. Eventually, we get interrupted. He was taking his friends home, and I was getting a ride back to the dorms with my friend. I got concerned, and I asked him if he should be driving. And this is when he told me he was the DD and was completely sober.
So he made out with your chip mouth sober? Yes. I hope you married that man.
Yes, this sober man let me stick my Tostito chip tongue down. And I did not think anything of it at the time.
Oh my
On
God.
the way home, my friend is totally amping me up, saying he was sober and he must have really liked me. Embarrassment started to set in as I tried to think of all the slumpy. That's not correct. All the sloppy drunk things I must have
Slumpy.
done. Dude, that is slumpy.
Slumpy.
All the sloppy drunk things I must have done, knowing that there was no way he was going to find any of that attractive. But I was wrong, I guess, because I woke up to a text asking how I was feeling and if we could hang out sometime. At the time, I did not remember the chip thing at all. I was very drunk. He recounted the experience the next night when we had a movie date and it all came rushing back. I was mortified. I'm still shocked that his sober ass found any of that cute. We dated for a little while, but I wasn't quite ready to quit my hoe phase, so I eventually broke it off. Love you ladies so much. I hope this hoe story gets read because it's one of my favorites, but I have lots more I can send in too.
Oh, what a beautiful,
That reminded me of something that you would do drunk, and that's why I liked it so much. I was like, this is really a Jerry moment that I want to read because I feel like that is something that you would be like, oh, I definitely did something very similar to that.
I probably would have.
I know. I feel like we've all kind of been there.
You gotta. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You just gotta.
You do.
And then you gotta send it to us. And then we'll
Yes.
share it, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Stories, Gmail. Hey, listen, before we go,
Okay.
1, 2, 3,
Buckle my shoe.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Whoa. Whoa.
No, but seriously.
We weren't even rhyming. Why did we do that?
I don't know. That was
Okay.
weird. But I think for the next one, we're talking about potentially doing a review of Barbie. Because I didn't even know that was coming. It's such a big thing that people are talking about. You mentioned it to me. I was
I'm
like,
excited.
I didn't even know that's a
really
thing.
want to see it.
So I do want to tell you all now that I think that is going to be a thing we do.
So watch it or you're going to get spoilers.
Yes. Yeah. So prepare now because you have a week and I think that's what we're going to do.
That reminds me, today Shane and I went to Marshall's and I found this candle and it was like Barbie pink. And I don't love pink. I'm like grown indifferent of pink, but it smelled so fucking good. And I was like, I love this candle. At the same time, Shane finds a candle that's like oak and moss. And he's like, smell that. And I'm like, wow, that smells good. And we hold the candles next to each other and he goes, oh, it's like Barbie and Oppenheimer or whatever.
Yes.
Barbenheimer.
I've seen so many Barbenheimer freaking memes and I'm like, what is this about?
I don't know. But Shane, I started laughing and he goes, yay, I'm relevant. Good for you, honey.
Yes, he is.
You did it. Yay.
That's cute.
Yeah. Anyway,
so that's what I think we're going to do.
yeah. Put it on the agenda for this week. Go watch Barbie so we can talk about it.
Yeah, someone told us to, and I think that'd be fun.
We're gonna is what we're saying.
Yeah.
And if you don't want spoilers and you want to enjoy it when we talk about it,
that's what you got to do.
yeah. All right. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, everyone. We love you so much. We'll see you next week.
All right.
We're out.
Goodbye.